I am here today. It hurts me to have to hear my neighbor, because I have a mother and a father, and I would hate for them to be in this circumstance with me. Let me tell you why we're here and how we got here, so that everyone understands. It is my understanding counsel is not allowed to speak to me, so I came to speak to counsel, so that clarification can be made about how we got to this point. I'm a Harvard-trained lawyer of 27 years. 20 of those years have been spent in a classroom teaching law. One of the classes I teach is civil procedure. So, Mr. Faroki, you know that was your favorite class in law school. We teach the rules. Everything lawyers do are supposed to be done in compliance with the rules. So when there was flooding again in 2012, and the reason there's flooding in Peoplestown is not so much that it's shaped like a bowl, but it's a result of overdevelopment, neglectful maintenance, and highways, right, that decimated Southeast Atlanta. Stadiums that took up permeable space so the water can't flow down into the ground the way it organically should. So now, yes, we have flooding. But even when you have flooding, if you're going to use eminent domain, you follow the rules. The commissioner of the Department of Watershed at the time that this project was initiated was Macrina. Commissioner Joanna Macrina, who will be in federal court in October because she's been indicted for stealing at the very time that she was advancing this initiative. She and then Mayor Reed decided that the solution to the problem was to take the entire block of homes. Now let me tell you what the rule is with respect to the use of eminent domain. It can only be used for a public purpose, and if that public purpose is an engineering use, you are supposed to have engineering data to support it. Not design data. This is what I've learned in my 5.5 years as a subject matter expert on engineering. You need modeling, mathematical calculations to establish how much space you need to correct the problem, based on the topography, based on water flow, all of those things. That's the design footprint. Not what you do within the footprint, but how much space do you need. That doesn't change. The design can change. The footprint doesn't change. So they decided they needed a perfect square city block. It doesn't happen like that, folks. That's not how any of this works. You do your modeling, and the modeling tells you how much space you need. So in 2013, you see an email from Kim Palmer, now Kim Scott. She was the project manager. She was the person who would have to sign off to say, let's move forward. Her message was clear. We don't have the technical data to support the taking. That didn't change. That was in 2013. They promoted her. I know because I did an open records request and got her personnel file, and I looked at it. She had been here 7 years. Model employee. They promoted her. She still was asking for the data. They fired her in September of 2014. October 2014, Carla Smith, District 1 representative, big fan of this plan, walked the ordinance in, and what was listed was not addresses to indicate people live there. It was parcel numbers. And many city council members who voted on that told me they didn't know people lived in those houses when they voted to approve the use of eminent domain to take them. So that was the first lie. I'm sorry, that was the second lie. The first lie was not having the engineering data in the first place. The second lie was presenting it as if people didn't live in those parcels. Move forward to so City Council passes the ordinance in 2014. 2016, we're sued. We have no legal title to our homes. For 4.5 years, I continued to pay my mortgage to Bank of America. You see the second document I gave you is the court order saying that bank could come and take its money out of escrow. The money that was placed in escrow when they took legal title to the home, the bank, as the lien holder, went and took its $128,000. The city reports it as, oh, Tanya received $128,000. Tanya didn't receive any money. I couldn't stop the bank from taking that money, and the money did not flow through me. The bank went to the court. You see the court order. We've been in court. Will someone grant me some additional time,
Time has expired.
Please.
Mr. President, the protocol of our rules of council allow, I would like to yield time to Ms. Washington.
Any objection?
Thank you, Councilman Dozier, and thank you, Councilman.
2 minutes from Mr. Dozier. 4 minutes, 6 minutes.
Thank you. So we go to court. They sued us all separately so that we wouldn't be able to work together. But we worked together anyway. We had 2 lawyers representing 2 of us and 2 lawyers representing the other 2, and we worked together because it was a shared wrong that we were experiencing. So in court, we're asking, where's the modeling? We're asking the same question that Ms. Palmer, now Scott, was asking, where is the modeling? My engineers, when we hired them, said, if they have the modeling, the only thing we can do is tell the truth, and you have to go. If the modeling shows that you have to leave, you have to leave. So we asked for the modeling. In 2016, we asked for the modeling. In 2017, we asked for the modeling. In 2018, we asked for the modeling. In 2019, in 2020, in 2021. Finally, December 2021, we're in Fulton County Superior Court. The judge says to Makita Browning, who is the current commissioner of the Department of Watershed, do you have the modeling? Yes, sir, I do. Well, could you give it to the other side because they seem not to have it? And we'll come back to court and finish considering whether this was a lawful taking in compliance with the rules. Finally, March 2022, our engineers were granted the opportunity to do an on-site inspection at the Department of Watershed. And what they discovered was worse than what I anticipated. I thought there was nothing. And it's hard to prove a negative. But what we found in writing, these aren't our documents, this is the city documents. What we found in writing is that they didn't do the modeling until 2018. You took houses in 2016. You passed an ordinance in 2014, and you did modeling after the fact? If this creates a precedent, no one in Atlanta is safe because they can take your home and then reverse engineer the justification. That's not following the rules. That's not fair. That's not right, and it's not legal. So what we have been asking for is our homes. You heard my neighbor say, give us our homes and leave us alone. This isn't about money. We owe, between the 2 of us, over $600,000 in engineering fees and lawyers' fees. You know how much it costs to litigate for 5.5 years? But we did it, and because we did it, we found out that we were right. And, as I tell my students, it's not enough to be right. You have to be able to prove it. We can now prove it. So last Friday, I get a call from my attorney. The city offered you $1,037,000. That's what they said. $1,037,000. I don't know where those numbers came from. Nobody asked for any invoices. It's an odd number. That's not what we asked for. That's not what the mayor promised on the campaign trail. He didn't say, you can stay for the winter because it's cold. He said, we'll build the park and pond around the remaining homes. It wasn't a seasonal stay. It was a stay. That he would fix the flooding and leave the families. So this is bigger than me. This is bigger than Mrs. Darden. This is Peoplestown, USA. We have billions of dollars coming down the pike for infrastructure projects. Where are we going to do the work? Are we going to choose the usual suspects to bear the brunt of the work that needs to be done to fix our crumbling infrastructure? Are we going to ask seniors and legacy residents of this city to be the ones to sacrifice one more time for the good of the order? Or are we going to do the right thing? Which is what our mayor promised. He is data-driven and evidence-based. Don't do it because you feel sorry for us. Do it because the data shows you never needed to take the homes. You can fact-check that timeline I gave you. You can fact-check it. So the next time the people from the law department try to mischaracterize the facts or engage in character assassination and make this about one angry woman who's standing in the way of progress, you'll understand the facts. The fact is they took our homes and they didn't follow the rules. So you want to point to flooding and say that's a justification? It is a justification if you follow the rules. So the question now is, are you all going to double down on this wrong? Or are you going to correct it? Please fix this. This is too much time and too much energy for residents and for city government. This is our third mayor. I believe he's a man of his word. And the data and the evidence support him making good on his promise to fix the flooding and leave the families. Thank you.
Thank you.